Okay. Think happy thoughts. Think happy thoughts. Okay. Hi guys. Today's chapter 2, verse 6. We do not even know which result of this was preferable for us, conquering them or being conquered by them. Even after killing them, we will not desire to live. Yet they have taken the side of the sons of Dhritarashtra and now stand before us on the battlefield. When evaluating the most suitable course of action, one considers various alternatives and their consequences. Arjun was debating whether it would be desirable to defeat the Kauravas or to be defeated by them. Both alternatives seemed like a defeat, for if he did win the war by slaying the Kauravas, he would have no further desire to live. However, the fact that Bhishma, Dronacharya, Kripacharya had acted ignobly by taking the side of the unrighteous Kauravas, the word Arthkam had been used for them, implying attached to wealth and position. They had taken the side of the wicked Duryodhan, so killing them in war was a natural consequence. In fact, after the war, Bhishma himself had admitted that a teacher who acts ignobly is fit to be abandoned. Here, a special mention needs to be mentioned of Bhishma. According to Srimad Bhagavad Gita 1, verse 9:22-10, he was a great devotee of Sri Krishna. He was a master of his senses, an icon of chivalry and generosity. He was a knower of the absolute truth and had vowed to speak the truth in his life. Even death could only come to him when he chose to accept it. For various reasons, he is enumerated among the 12 great personalities. There are the 12 great knowers of religious principles. Hence, Bhishma was an enlightened soul whose actions could never be against the principles of dharma. However, his profound character was beyond mundane reasoning. Even though he fought on the side of Kauravas, he said to Yudhishthir before the war, I am obliged to combat on the side of unrighteousness, but I give you the boon that you will be victorious. Bhishma knew that the righteous Pandavas, who had Sri Krishna on their side, could never lose. By taking the side of Adharma, he showed that even the biggest forces could not make unholiness win in the holy war. He thus offered the biggest sacrifice of laying down his life to assist the divine pastimes of Lord Krishna. Sri Krishna was well aware of Vishnu's deep devotion. He upheld Vishnu's laws by breaking his own. Vishnu resolved on a particular day during the war that before sunset on the next day he would kill Arjun, or else to save him, Sri Krishna would have to break his own law of not lifting weapons in the battle. If I do not make the Supreme Lord Krishna lift weapons, then I will shame my mother Ganga, and I am not the king, son of King Shantanu. Bhishma fought so valiantly that Arjun's chariot was shattered, and he was stranded on the ground. At this stage, Sri Krishna lifted the chariot's wheel and came forward to prevent Bhishma from killing Arjun. Bhishma saw the Lord with the chariot wheel in his hand as a weapon and broke into a big smile. He understood the God has broken his own vow to honor the vow of his devotee. In fact, Vishnu devotion to Lord Krishna was a very rasic, full of sweetness flavor to it. He used to meditate on Sri Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. In the evening, when the Lord would return to the village after grazing cows, the dust raised from the hooves of the cows would make. In the last stage of his life, until lay for 6 months on a bed of arrows, he meditated on the very version of God, offering the following prayer to him. On the battlefield, Lord Sri Krishna's flowing hair was covered with white dust raised by the hoofs of the horses, and his face was covered with sweat beads because his physical. So here they're talking about Krishna more than anyone else. But basically, Arjun is continuing to say that. Anyway, so if you are faced with such a conundrum, you should visit God. You should go to God. I hope you guys have a good day.